the Techpedition Podcast for today, episode number next. I'm here with my brother Clarence. How's it going, man?
Going good, man. What is going on with you, sir?
Not much, man. Just excited about some new developments and sad about other developments. So
yeah, man. Well, this is our weekly cast where we jump on Facebook and we present, starting last week, maybe more so, our stories of the week. And I think you have the fun one, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the sad one out the way. Of course, we know about the shooting in New Zealand, the whole Christchurch thing, and we won't get into the details of that. That's not what we're here for. But we are here to talk about a little bit about the technology that surrounded that and how 17 minutes of the tragedy was actually streamed live over Facebook. And not only that, but how we had this kind of domino effect of people reposting the video, and maybe talk about a little bit of the technology and how it wasn't able to keep 1.5 million videos from being uploaded globally over 24 hours. Go ahead.
It just goes to show you something we've known for years is once something's on the internet, you can't delete it. It's there. Like, as sad as it is and as unfortunate as it is, I mean, that's the world we live in, and you just can't delete anything from the internet.
Yeah, but you would think in a situation like this, they'd be able to prevent things from being auto-uploaded or uploaded in that sense. They should be able to take, if we've seen the video already, they should be able to automatically take it down. Now, I do realize there are things that you can do to...
You can flip the video. You can flip it upside down.
Move it a little bit to the left or right.
Change the audio, change the file names. Like, there's all kind of things you can do. Because I mean, dude, there are full movies on YouTube. Where they just flipped it. They just flipped the picture, and the little computer can't detect that it's a movie. The movie, and it's up there. Yeah. Like a lot of stuff on YouTube that's copyrighted it's flipped horizontally. So, I mean, there's only so much you can do, man.
Yeah, just really sad. And I won't even get into the details about how, people tend to blame these things on video games, which I think they tried to do with this one.
Which is utterly ridiculous, by the way.
It's utterly ridiculous. It's ultimately just sad to see. And we really have to kind of figure out how we're going to do this. These social media platforms, mainly Facebook, are going to do this going forward to prevent things like this, because, it's going to, sad to say, it's going to keep happening. Hopefully not to this, this much of an egregious way, but it's going to keep happening. Dude, somebody at my work was like, did you see the video? And he had it on his phone showing me. I'm like, I don't want to see that,
He had it on his phone?
Yeah, I mean.
What?
It's like, I don't want to see that, dude. I just turned around. So, I mean, it's just sad.
Enough videos on demand.
It's just sad, man. And hopefully us as a society can move away from that. And technology is going to have to somehow prevent these things in the future. Or curve it. They can't prevent it. Curve it as much as possible.
Well, I mean, think about this, though. I mean, of course, given this was over 10 years ago, but I can remember, when I was in college, when, there was a lot of activity in Afghanistan and overseas. I remember they would post these terrorist videos of these terrorist groups holding Americans down and sawing their heads off and holding their heads up. And it's if you can't get rid of that, I don't know how, that was around the time where I just kind of gave up the fight there. It's you can't, I don't know. I just don't feel like there's a whole lot they can do. It's kind of a nature of the beast thing. If you're going to allow people to stream stuff live and you're going to allow people to upload video, I mean, you're accepting a certain amount of risk.
Yeah, true.
And it's I feel like one thing Facebook could do is, if people don't want, if they, make it to where they can opt out of viewing stream videos. Yeah, because if you scroll down your feed, give people the option to not look at stream video, or give people the option to not look at video, or even give them the option to only see video from people that they trust or that's in a close, have they have a close friend.
Yeah, that's true.
Like there are things they can do. Like I just feel like fighting the fight of trying to stop people from uploading stuff when you've given millions of people the opportunity to upload anything. I mean, it's just a fight that's gonna be a hard fight to win.
Yeah, man. And honestly, some of the worst things I've seen on the internet, period, sad to say, I've seen it on Facebook. I mean, some stuff I just like, how did this even? And then there's people having their accounts hacked and they're not knowing what actually going on, And
okay. This is not related to anything you're talking about, but I am so tired of people saying their account has been hacked when somebody takes your pictures off your profile, makes another profile, and tries to friend everybody on your friend list. That is not being hacked.
They just copied you.
They have done nothing to your account. They have created a completely new account.
Yeah.
And of course, they're trying to social engineer people.
Yeah, true.
But it's not. They didn't hack your account. I see that like every day. Somebody's like, don't accept a friend request from me. I've been hacked. It's like, no, it's not you.
But honestly, you kind of have to say that when, our parents are on there, and less tech savvy people when it's just like kind of the nature of the beast going forward.
Yeah.
So, shout out to our peoples in the chat, Brittany and Kyle. What's up, guys?
Hi, peoples. Nice to see some folks in the chat.
Fret not. Carrie has some gaming news for you guys.
Yeah. So, last week I, to the point of almost gushing, was discussing the upcoming GDC Google announcement. There was some things that happened that we pretty much expected to happen, and some things that we didn't, or some things I didn't. So, I guess first off, the new Google platform, because it's not a console technically, although even that itself is arguable. I guess that's just me being stubborn, but even that part is arguable. I feel like it's still a console. It's just not in your living room. It's in a data center. And this is why I say that. They release specs for what each user will be allocated on the Google Stadia platform. Oh, it's called Google Stadia, by the way. I don't think I even said that.
Stadia?
Stadia. I didn't watch the announcement. I don't know. It's probably Stadia.
Weird name, by the way.
We'll go with Stadia.
Weird name.
Stadia sounds a bit pretentious, so we'll go with Stadia. All right. So we have specs for each user instance of Stadia, and they are as follows. GPU, 10.7 teraflops, 56 compute units, high bandwidth HBM2 memory, which is high bandwidth memory, the second generation or whatever. Custom x86 processor, 2.7 gigahertz, hyper-threaded. AVX2, 16 gigabytes of RAM. So you know what this sounds like to me? Just off the cuff, these specs. That is a Radeon Vega 56. A Radeon Vega 56 is the specs say 10.5 teraflops, but it's 56 compute units and it's HBM2 memory. So I feel like it might be a custom Vega chip, but it's probably just a Vega 56. AMD is releasing their new GPUs this year, so I feel like Google might have just bought a whole bunch of the old ones for like pennies on the dollar, or dollars on the $100, whatever. And so you have these specs. In the teraflop count there is actually more than the PlayStation Pro and the Xbox One X combined, interestingly enough. And that's allocated per user. And my thing is this: if you're going to have that much firepower per user in a data center, it's a console. That's a console. Yeah. It's a console. It's just not in your living room.
So do we know if that's minimum specs or the lowest minimum specs per user? Or I would have expected it to be more scalable, to have it somehow play into the load on the system. If it's not that many people on, maybe they ramp that usage up or that power up. But
per user, I don't
it
think
might not
so.
be possible.
I don't think you can do that. Yeah, I don't think they can do that because the way they're pushing this is like a platform. Like you have to have a minimum viable user instance, Yeah. And I feel like if you're gonna do that, you might as well just this is what every user is going to get. Because I feel like if you get into scaling and raising and lowering graphics and all other stuff, it can be really, really complicated.
But to me, having single dedicated per user hardware doesn't sound scalable to me in the long run. What if 10 million people sign up? Is that going to be feasible? I know we're talking about Google here.
10 million GPUs, or at least, the other thing is, this may not necessarily be a video card in a data center. They may have like these huge racks that have, these huge, like, I don't want to say Crossfire or SLI, but these huge connected GPUs, this huge cluster, and they just chop it up, not necessarily physically, but it's probably just divided logically into those units. So, so when somebody signs up, they don't have to like run to the warehouse and stick a GPU in the in the data center. It's just it's just a rack or a server thing. Wow, I'm being totally not technical right now. Another interesting thing about this is that it's running on Linux, which I thought was interesting. So what else do we know?
So we're figuring that's going to take recompiling of current games to their platform, or was that always in the picture?
Well, the two things I gleaned from this is one, Steam already has a whole bunch of games that run on Linux, so I'm assuming they run on OpenGL.
Yeah.
Or they could be using some type of Wine implementation, which I don't think they would be doing, but it says Doom Eternal has been confirmed for Stadia, and Doom Eternal is on Vulkan. Vulkan's multi-platform. It's basically next-gen OpenGL.
Yeah, they're pushing Vulkan. I saw that in the
Don't at me, but that's just how I feel about it. It's just the next version of OpenGL. And it's multi-platform. So a lot of the games that run on Mac and on Linux, they run on either OpenGL or Vulkan. Most of them run on OpenGL. I don't think there's a lot of Vulkan games. What else? First party games will be Stadia exclusives.
Makes sense.
And we talked about them hiring Jade Raymond, who produced a lot of the Assassin's Creed games. So they're actually going to be making exclusives, which is one of the things we talked about last week that I think will be really interesting to see what they come up with, and if they can come up with anything that would make people want to subscribe to this.
Their demos didn't impress me too much. They had a few demos. They were just more so showing technical capabilities, but their demos didn't really actually impress me all that much. But,
the Battle Royale one was pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Where they were able to scale the user count because all the hardware is in like their data centers or whatever, so they're able to seamlessly scale the user count of multiplayer games, which I thought was interesting. What else?
It's funny you mentioned that it's going to be this dedicated hardware in the cloud, because their tagline is the future of gaming is not a box. So,
it's box. It's just it's the whole
somebody
thing,
else's box.
There is no spoon. There is no cloud. It's just somebody else's computer. It's the cloud's just a buzzword. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about.
I have a few high points. Maybe it'll come to you. What, do you have it already, or? Okay, I'll just want to run through the highlights they have on their main.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so the future game not in a box. They're touting AAA games on various screens. Game when you want, play across multiple devices, including laptops, desktops, and select phones and tablets. Now, this is something they did show in the demo. I forgot what the guy's name was, but he was going. Of course, Sundar Pichai was leading the keynote, but it was some guy that came out for a demo. He went from like a tablet to a Chromebook to a desktop to a phone, and then across all these devices seamlessly without having to cancel one game and start another. Somehow it automatically knew he was on a different device. Now, I don't know how that's going to work. And one of the cool things I saw, the really cool things that I thought was something that was very innovative, but I never really had thought of it. It is a measure to reduce latency, and that is having the controller connect directly to the cloud rather than connect through the PC or through the tablet. The controller itself has Wi-Fi built into it that connects directly to the cloud to play the game. I thought that was pretty brilliant to cut down latency just a little bit more.
Yeah, no reason for it to go through the browser if you're not actually playing it. They've been doing things sort of things kind of like this in MMOs. Some MMOs have a server-side UI where the click that you click has to register on the server before it registers in the game. So, I mean, yeah, I think that's a really good idea to cut down latency. My only worry with that is, like,
I see it getting out of sync.
yeah. Like, how do you keep all that stuff in sync?
Yeah, how do you know if one part of if the bandwidth on your controller is bad or your screen is bad, you're going to have a bad time, So
yeah. And the other thing that concerns me about this, to be honest, is how much is this going to cost?
It better be cheap.
well, see, that's the thing is I don't see how they can make this cheap without losing their shirt. Because, all right, look.
But it is Google. Okay. You have to frame it in that aspect. It is Google.
No, you can't. Google loses money all the time, and they close stuff down all the time. And they just reduced their hardware division because it wasn't making money.
Dude, but I'm looking at the vast amount of server power these guys have and the server potential. It is something that's already in their line of business. So it's not like they have to create the car from the start. They already have a lot of things.
But they do. Like, this is custom hardware. It's not like they can repurpose old servers.
Yeah, you're right.
This is custom AMD hardware.
The data centers infrastructure, of course, they have to throw in new hardware, but I think they have the basis to make it work, just like I feel Microsoft has the basis to make it work. The infrastructure.
They have the infrastructure to make it work, but, like, I don't know. Just hear me out here for a second. So a Vega 56, let's be generous. Vega 56, up until a couple weeks ago, they were like $400 to $500. I think now you can get one for like $350. I'm going to be generous and just say $200. Okay. Custom x86, 2.7 gigahertz, multi-threaded CPU, 150. I'm just throwing some base numbers out here. So we're at $350. Okay. So memory, 16 gigabytes of RAM, $100. That is $450, right? Okay, so, and this is just being generous. You can't really build a PC for that. So, but this is headless. They're sticking it in the data center.
Yeah.
They're buying it in bulk. So that's why I'm being a little generous with the numbers. Let's divide that by 24. That's $18 a month.
Which I consider pretty good, because I think OnLive 5-6 years ago was like $20 a month, and it wasn't even that great. So
I agree with you, but we're just talking about hardware costs. They've stood up entire new divisions. They're first-party developer teams that are making games for this, and this is just cost. This isn't them making money. This is them breaking even. 1875. So, well, I mean, this is not going to be. I don't see this being any cheaper than like $25, $35 a month. Like, I just don't see it. If it's cheaper than that, I would be delighted. I just can't realistically see it being cheaper than that.
But again, I think it's in how you frame it. Like, another one of their pillars was new ways to play through YouTube and beyond. Go from watching a video to playing a game in seconds, with even more innovative experiences to come for select games. So, I mean, I can envision a future.
YouTube doesn't make money either.
I can envision it. YouTube doesn't make money. What?
It doesn't turn a profit.
I want to see that stat. I'm not too sure about that one. But in light of that, while you're looking it up, let me make my point. I think you can package that. I think I would pay if I can play any game I want, get YouTube TV, and I'm thinking of it holistically as the whole, Google as a whole, doing something with gaming integrated in with it as well. I think they can have a very viable entertainment platform that encompasses television, gaming, and YouTube and music. They have all of those pillars in place that they can bolster to sell a complete package. Now, as far as just gaming itself, I don't think it's going to be more than $15. I don't think they can make it more than $15. 20 at the most. 20 at the most. Definitely not more than that.
Well, I mean, I just have two words for you, which is actually one word. Movie Pass.
That's a totally different topic, man.
But is it though? Is it though? Is it a totally different topic?
Yeah.
They pretty much ran themselves underground by not charging enough. And I mean, if you think about what they were offering, people would have paid. I would have honestly, if I wasn't married and I didn't have kids and stuff, and I was single, like I would have paid $40 a month for that if I would have known about it.
Yeah,
you know, like. But it's just one of those things where, I mean, this can make money, and I feel like it can be profitable if they charge more. But the kicker there is there has to be a value proposition. And like you were saying, a lot of the demos and stuff they've shown for it, it's not something you would pay $20 a month for, you know? Yeah. I mean, that's the kicker. Like if they have the next big thing, and it's only on Stadia, then, you know, I can see people think about it like this. People still pay $15 a month to play WoW.
Yeah.
To play one game.
Yeah, true.
You know?
Yeah.
I just feel like if they can show the value, people will pay more.
And think of how we're now in like a streaming generation. I'm not talking about from just videos, but you know, creators going online playing games and being able to, if you click right here, I'll give you 80% off or 50% off. If you want to buy this game right now through Google Stadia, click the button on my live video. I got a bunch of followers and I'll make some profit from that as well. Click on it, buy the game. You know, it could be more instead we're thinking of a all encompassing package, but it could be on a just buy the game for a reduced price and play it right now without installing anything.
I just again, I don't see how they can make money on that though. If you pay $50 one time and get to play a game in perpetuity, then like how do they make money? How do they make money off of that?
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I don't.
And here's another way to think about it. Like I'm sorry, here's another way to think about it though. Here's another way to think about it. Spin up a server on AWS or even Google Cloud's platform, a basic server. Something all it does is serve static pages.
Mm-hmm.
One CPU, 4 gigs of RAM. You're gonna be spending like $15-$20 a month for that. Just for that. Just for that.
Yeah.
Like so I don't know how they can make this profitable without charging more.
So Google did not divulge their tiers, pricing plans, and their just overall strategy for this so far. So that's something that's coming down the pike, and we have to kind of just wait and see where they go with it. So yeah, I don't know. We have to see what their business model is going to be for this.
Yeah, and Kyle asked, who do you see as Google's main competition here? And then he said Steam. I don't think it's Steam. I don't think it's Origin. I think they have two main competitors. One is Microsoft's upcoming streaming service. I can't remember what it's called, Game Now, or what is it called? I don't know if they've even named it yet. But it's
competitor?
The Stadia competitor.
xCloud.
I would say their number one competitor is xCloud, but even more so, kind of drawing out from that, I would say their big competitor is consoles, game consoles. I don't see this as a PC competitor simply because I don't see it because my computer that I have right now sitting in my room is more powerful than those specs.
It replaces the PC. Did you see the part where it says 4K at 60 frames per second?
It doesn't replace a PC. I can do more than play games on my PC.
I know, man.
I can upgrade my PC. Like it's just like the console argument. You know, I don't think there's ever been a point where consoles have consoles like kind of ate the arcade market, but I just don't see with the adaptability of PCs, and by the time something comes out on a PC, it's already obsolete. Like I don't see you can't get that bleeding edge technology into a console or a platform. It just costs too much.
The death of the master race. That's what I'm calling it.
and again, on certain games, I can get over 4K 60 on my machine. On certain games, not every game. And you better believe anything that's doing 4K 60 on this, like the X1X, is going to be optimized it's going to have the bejesus optimized out of it.
No doubt. No doubt.
You know, so that's why I see it as a console competitor, because right now there's only one console, arguably two, but there's really only one that has any games that are 4K 60. I don't think anything on the PS4 Pro is 4K 60. I know they have 4K stuff,
Yeah.
But I don't think anything's 4K 60. So
you did mention xCloud. So let's talk about Microsoft's rebuttal in an internal memo. Phil Spencer to the Xbox crew. He says that, and let me get it right here. Google went big today, and we have a couple of months until E3 when we will go big. There were no surprises in their announcement, although I was impressed with their leverage of YouTube, the use of Google Assistant, and the new Wi-Fi controller, explains Phil Spencer. In his memo, Google is leveraging YouTube to allow people to view game clips and then instantly launch the game or share an exact game save to the video service, which, again, like that's everything he says, what I feel about it. Just the streaming service of Stadia on its own, not revolutionary there, but what they did with the controller and managed to do with some of the shareability, they can do some things there that will be really innovative. And that's kind of what I'm interested to see.
Agreed. And the other thing I will say about this, though, I know it might seem like I'm kind of down on it. I'm really not, because honestly, if they can get this to work and minimize the lag and latency in places that have decent internet connections, and by the way, this will scale down from 4K 60 if your internet connection isn't 30 megabits a second, I think.
Yeah.
So, but if they can get this right, and I feel like the competition is going to help with that, like not OnLive and Gaikai, two small companies, like two big mammoth companies, two of the biggest companies in the world fighting it out over this. If they can get it right, it will change gaming. Like it will. Like not it won't. This is not a might. I mean, there are even rumors that the xCloud's gonna be on the freaking Switch. Like it will change the way we play video games, almost to the point to where I would even say we might be, knocking on the door of the end of the gaming console as we know it anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, man. So, do we even have anything else? I think I have another story. So, as we know, and I want to ask first, have you played Apex Legends? Have you guys in the chat played Apex Legends yet?
Oh, yes. It is wonderful. Yeah. It is amazing.
So, I know you're a big, what is the Battle Royale fan. So, how does it, in your personal opinion, like before we even get into the story itself, like how does it equate to other Battle Royales that you've played?
It is a good mix, in my opinion. It's a good mix between Fortnite and, in some respects, and PUBG. And, it's strictly team-based. So no matter how you queue up in the game, you're going to be stuck on a 3-man team. The map is big, but it's not so big that you need vehicles. Anywhere you need to go, you can get there on foot. There's a couple abilities and stuff that make getting around a map easier. It runs great. You play Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
It's pretty much on the same engine. There are no Titans or, you don't have any wall running or anything like that, but it runs silky smooth. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't played it, we got to get on and play it. It's a really fun game.
Definitely. So,
and one more thing. It mixes some of the stuff from like what's the Blizzard shooter, Overwatch, where like you have champions that have special abilities and stuff. So it's kind of blending some different genres together. So that's cool. That's cool too.
Sweet. So the story I have here is EA reportedly paid Tyler Blevins, aka Ninja, a sum of $1 million to stream the game for 24 hours. And some even saying it's even less than that. So if you followed the launch of the game, they kind of announced it and then it was out like within a day or the same day.
They give people a chance to poop on it because it's EA. It was genius.
Yeah.
Let the game speak for itself.
And not only that, they somehow enlisted some of the big streamers to play the game. Now, at first, people were wondering if that was like a paid promotion or it was just good and new and fresh and nobody knew about it and everybody jumped on. So we kind of have confirmation here that at least in the biggest streamers or one of the biggest streamers case that they actually paid them a sum of $1 million to play for a day. Now,
Well, think about it this way. Think about how much money companies spend marketing games. A lot of times, the marketing budget is as big or bigger than a development budget. So if you think about it that way, the most popular streamer in the world streaming your game for 24 hours, $1 million really isn't that much.
yeah,
I mean, depending on how you look at it.
yeah, I know, and I don't have the exact number. I wish I did, but I know after they initially launched, their stock market numbers like shot through the roof, and that's after coming off of what is the other game that didn't do so well?
Battlefront. Battlefront 2.
No. The one Anthem.
Anthem, yeah.
Yeah, it coming out the Anthem kind of, crashing and burning. They had this and, just kind of lit a fire into everybody. So I just find it very interesting that streamers now have the power. And it sounds like a lot of $1 million. This guy was already making like $500,000 per month. He was already making like $500,000 per month. So, what's the extra meal?
We're in the influencer age, the social media age, where a lotion company can pay Kim Kardashian $20,000 to make a tweet about their product. Like this is nothing. Like if you think about traditional marketing and how much it costs, like if they picked the 10 biggest streamers and they paid them each $1 million, that's $10 million.
Yeah,
that's like a fraction of a normal marketing budget. I mean, yeah, to us that's a lot of money, but for the company, that 10 million, like if you can pay $10 million and markets, have market saturation as far as advertisement for your game to the people who play it, like that's nothing.
Yeah.
It's a coup. It's amazing. Like it's smart.
Yeah, and Brittany says he wasn't the only streamer that got paid. Yeah, I'm sure they paid quite a few. Maybe not so much money, but I'm sure they paid quite a few people to stream their game. And I think the telling moment I think the telling moment of all that is they kept playing it because the game was good. So
yeah,
win-win.
Yeah, it's a really fun game, and with all the bad press EA got last year, this was the smartest way for them to launch it, is to just not say next month or next week we're gonna, just here it is. Play.
Oh yeah.
Good deal. Do we have anything?
I don't think we have anything else. I think that's it. I guess we can go ahead and wrap things up. Carrie, man, what are you working on podcast related otherwise?
Well, the thing is, I'm not really doing a whole lot podcast-wise or otherwise besides, being on Discussing Trek with you on Mondays. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Like Kyle just mentioned Apple. There was one story that I saw that I thought was interesting, that Apple will now allow you to add 256 gigabytes of RAM to an iMac Pro. And it's like $5,000. So I don't know who would actually do that, but there you go.
And nobody buys it.
So there's an Apple press conference Monday on one more thing.
Is that about their new streaming service? And I think that Netflix has came out outright and said, Reed Hastings, that they're not going to be a part of the new Apple streaming service. So I don't know if I don't know if they're trying to make one dashboard where all the services can feed into it. I'm not sure what they're doing. I guess we'll find out Monday. But in a statement, I think they came out today or yesterday, Reed Hastings said they're not going to be a part of the service, whatever that service is. And I'm not, still not sure what it is exactly, but they're not going to be a part of it. So interesting stuff ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Apple needs to release a game console, man.
No. We need no more game consoles.
We need more game consoles.
No.
I want like 10 of them.
We need more development, more developers. We need more companies making games. That's what we need.
I want a console battle royale, not a Cold War. Right now we're in the Cold War. I want like console World War 5 or something. Brittany's like, no more game consoles. More.
My wallet cannot support it.
Give me more.
Yeah, man. Like you were saying before, we are on a Star Trek podcast, which can be found at discussingtrek.com. If you're into Star Trek, please check it out, as well as subscribing to this podcast and checking us out on all the social medias, including Facebook, where we have a chat full of find friends who have joined us for this conversation. All right, guys. Well,
guess we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat station.
Very, very quick. Techpedition. Very, very quick. Techpedition. Very, very quick. Techpedition. Very, very quick. Techpedition.
I can't beat that. I just smells burnt and dusty.
hey guys, don't miss an episode of the Techpedition Podcast. For more information, go to techpedition.com/subscribe. TECHPEDITION.com.
Okay. Did I just do that? I did.